Good morning, Julian McBain here, and today we are playing some Entropia Universe. This video is going to be a little bit different today, and it's going to be different from what my future videos are going to be because I mentioned probably a couple weeks ago now that we're going to be getting into doing some of the quest missions, the storyline stuff on Calypso, and I'm planning on doing that starting with my next video. Today we're just going to do a simple 25 PED hunt. I've got about 25 PED worth of ammo. I'm out here using an R Matrix LB10, which is a huge change for me because it's a crafted limited sword and it uses ammo. Yes, a sword that uses ammo, which is probably the most counterintuitive thing that I've ever dealt with. And I'm going to get into that here shortly. And we're going to be hunting these Kerberos. Young, matures, and old. Preferably the matures and old because they have slightly better drops. And yeah, that's what we're going to start with. The other reason this is an odd episode is because it is currently 7:30 in the morning local time, and usually I do my videos in the afternoon or evening. But I just got back from Dallas Fort Worth. Spent a good vacation down there with my lady's family. And wanted to discuss some of the things that I discovered while I was there, speaking of which, because although I have not been producing videos for the last week-ish, week and a half, it doesn't mean I haven't been doing anything. I have been playing Entropia Universe. I'm now up to 23,000 skill points. My pet's leveled a little bit. So I wanted to go through some of the things I discovered about weapons and the reason I'm using an ammo burning sword, and that I'm now investing in ammunition as opposed to trying to do the hard grind with my unlimited sword, just to kind of show the direction I'll be going here in the immediate future. The other thing is that there's been a slight change of plans for the channel, and that's actually what I'm going to start with. So my original plan was, upon returning from Fort Worth, I had intended to start playing the Crash Bandicoot series, and there is a solid chance, actually I'm 99.9% sure that's going to be put on a brief hold, because while I was on vacation, I discovered that We Happy Few storyline released, and one of the things that I had planned on doing is as soon as it released, I was going to do a Let's Play of We Happy Few. The game itself is awesome. I've been really looking forward to it. I've had We Happy Few for about a year, so this isn't, the gameplay portion isn't going to be blind, although it's been a while since I've played. But since they just released the storyline, it's going to be very important to not watch one of my favorite YouTubers, Christopher Odd, in his playthrough, and I'm really anxious to be able to do so because I watched his alpha test playthroughs before I started doing my alpha test run, and so I'm anxious to see how he goes through the storyline and what his reactions are, because he's played through the whole game twice in the alpha test phase. So that will be starting. I will probably start recording those this week or this upcoming weekend. Today is Wednesday. And then start releasing them in the near future. And what I'm going to do is, my plan is to pretty much burn through the whole game, have it all queued up. I'm not planning on doing a tape and release. So it'll kind of be like my Entropia Universe videos where I'm a couple weeks out. My hope is that I have the whole game completed by the time oh, that was a pretty decent drop. By the time I start really releasing regular vids. So let's get into what I discovered about EU. And I'm sure the more experienced players are going to be like, you're just discovering that now? Well, yeah, I'm just discovering it now, sue me. So, one of the things I discovered is that the majority of your early mid-level swords, and probably through the really high-level stuff, like the Katsuichi Honor, which I was using to fairly inefficiently hunt Longtooth. Although it did the damage, it got me what I was looking for, so I'm not going to bitch. But it was fairly inefficient. I mentioned it in those videos. The mid-range swords, all of these R matrix swords, are ammo burners, which always made me twitch a little bit, because as a sword, why would it burn ammo? Well, I was thinking about it, and there's two reasons why a sword would burn ammo, other than being a Final Fantasy gunblade, of course. The first reason is they're power swords, and they use weapon cells. Now, I'm using universal ammo, of course, but in theory, they use weapon cells. So, like in the tabletop game Warhammer 40k, you've got power swords, so they would use energy. What are weapon cells? They're one-time use energy packs, right? Not only that, but the decay on this sword is, compared to any other melee weapon I've used, fairly non-existent. I started with this sword yesterday. I probably hunted for about an hour. I went through under 5 PED worth of decay. And I was able to go through a lot of Kerberos. So I figured out how this all works. And it works the same with amps, it works with ammo burners. What it is a mob incurs a certain level of decay, right? It costs a certain amount to kill a mob, and that's fairly constant if you discount overkill. How you incur that expense will depend entirely upon the weapon you're using. So when you're using an unlimited sword that does not burn ammo, for instance, it's going to do all of that expense to the sword. You're going to pay it in repair bill. When you use an ammo burner, the majority of that decay is borne by the ammo. Yeah, the ammo is one-time use, but you can cycle it, right? You get the shrapnel, it produces more ammo. So, in the end, it's still costing the same, it's just how is that expense borne? The other thing is when you use a crafted weapon, you're supporting the crafters, which I think is very important. Just like supporting artists in real life. Crafters make their PED by making things for players. They make swords, they make guns, and I think it's real important to be supporting the other players in this game wherever you can. You know, hunt on the player-owned properties, buy crafted weapons, especially limited ones. And while I'm not huge on limited weapons, I much prefer, you know, I've had this sword for X number of run-throughs, and I know that when you repair weapons in the repair terminal, that money actually goes directly to Mindark, and that's how they pay their devs. And if we want to keep seeing Entropia develop, we need to make sure Mindark's devs get paid. But at the same time, in order to have a strong economy, in order to have a strong player base, we really need to make sure that the other players are getting their amounts too. You know, I'm a hunter. I know that with hunting, it's all about knowing exactly what to hunt, when to hunt, where to hunt for your skill level. For the crafters, it's about producing the right type of weapon, the right type of equipment for the players that need it. And if we're not supporting that, they're not going to produce the weapons that we need at the level we're at. They're going to produce weapons for Ubers, because Ubers are really making their payday, right? And that's going to make it harder on us lower level players. So if you're a lower level player, find the gun that's at your skill level. You know, go through your TT weapons. It's important to do the TT grind to start, but once you get above that, find the weapons that's at your skill level, like the R Matrix LB10, or if you're a rifleman, you know, the LR10, LR15, whatever level you're at, and use those weapons. Support your crafters. Because in the end, that's how we're going to make Entropia Universe grow, right? You support the crafters, they keep making weapons, the more crafters come about, people grind out the skills. Crafting is really what I want to get into in the long run myself. The other thing I discovered while I was on vacation, I put a certain amount into the game every month, right? It's just like my subscription fees for World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. Usually I just put it in a straight PED. This time I changed it up a little bit. I bought ammo with it instead right out of the shop, which is what Lore Spade does. Took a suggestion from another YouTuber. Lore Spade's a very strong content creator. I watch all of his vids because he comes up with good advice. So this time I did it all in universal ammo. I did the starter pack refill. I never bought a starter pack, but I bought the refill, go figure. So I got the 200 PED worth of ammo, and I got 5 of these Neurobiotic Booster 1 milligram. What that does is it increases your skill gain by 50% for an hour. And I used most of it last night, but it does stick with you. It persists even if you log out. So as long as you're being efficient, you take it and then you start doing whatever it is you plan on doing for the day, you're going to end up getting the maximum effect out of it. And it's doing pretty well. I gained quite a bit of skill. I think yesterday I started the day at 80% for the Art Matrix 10. I'm already at 82, and I've been hunting for combined probably not even 60. Well, it wasn't even 60 minutes because I popped this pill right before I started hunting yesterday. So that tells you how much time I spent working on it yesterday, 45 minutes. The third thing I discovered while I was in Texas is pets. No, I didn't discover pets, but I discovered something about pets that's very important that I did not know. Which, again, this is going to be something that the more experienced players watching this are going to have a chuckle at, but did not know that pets level with you if you hunt with them. I thought you had to grind it out doing their tricks, which is probably the grindiest of the grind things I have done in a game. Because I've never been big into pet training. Like, I play World of Warcraft, I've never done the... Well, I can't say I've never done it. I've done some of it so I can collect some of the harder to find ones, but never been a real... Like, I don't do the compet type of stuff, or the Pokemon type of stuff. And I just happened to have my pet rover out while I was hunting because I was doing the tricks in between, and I realized he was gaining experience faster with me hunting than he was by me doing tricks with him. And so I just keep him out and have him follow me around, and he's gaining the experience. And eventually I'll get the passive effects out of it. And that's what I really want to see, is the passive effects. So that's all good. We're getting close to our limit here. I'm going to see... I've got about 6 PED worth of ammo left. We're doing pretty good here by the looks. Our loot's doing pretty good. I think we're going to at least break even today. Which at the end of the day is what we're looking to do, is break even. Maybe make a little profit. The skill pill definitely helped out with our skills. So in the end, we're going to be profitable there. And that's the other thing about buying the ammo packs. You get the 5. I bought 200 PED worth of ammo, so I get 5 skill pills. I also get, where is it? Is it under Mind Force? There it is. 5 of the HDNA, and I used one by accident yesterday. No, not yesterday. Earlier this week, day before yesterday. I died. I thought I was hitting revive. I ended up hitting HDNA revive, and because the way over leveled mob was still on top of me, he ate my face off again almost immediately after. But what it does is it gives you revives, and that's important too, because that way if you're in a position where you have, you're almost down to mob, it's right on the border of what you should be hunting. Like for me at my level, I can competently hunt level 7s, even maybe level 8s. I haven't found a level 8 to test that on. I can fight level 9s, and keep in mind we're not talking like long-tooth 12s where they're low damage mobs, even though they have a shitload of hit points, so you can hunt them at lower level than you really should be. We're talking regular hits like a truck levels, where they have less HP, but they, well, frankly, hit like a truck. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, okay, my sword is here. My anatomy leveled. Awesome. So I can manage a level 9, but it's tough. And I was out there, I was facing off against either a level, I think it was a level 9. And I had the misfortune of running into a level 15. And the level 15 promptly educated me on just how weak I still am. And I accidentally hit, yes, I want to revive. And I managed to finish the 9, or the 7 or the 9, whatever it was, off before the 15 ate my face off a second time. So I got the loot. But it's just not worth wasting the HDNA on. So we're down to about 2.5 PED worth of ammo. I don't want to risk running completely out. So we're going to head back to base here and tally up and see how we did. Now, I should probably empty that out, since doing a mining run is definitely in the cards for me sometime this week. I'd like to do either a 25 or a 50 PED mining run, just see how we do. The migrations really toppled the loot tables around, and so it'll be nice to know just where we kind of fit into the whole thing. And, you know, I like to mine. I enjoy mining. I find it cathartic. You know, I know it's just running around with probes and stuff, but it's cathartic, so we're going to quickly tally up here, and I'll do my outro. And later this week, either today or... because this is a unique video in that, like I said earlier, it's before 0800 in the morning, during the week, when I'm usually working, and I'm still working on my first cup of coffee, and I'm recording. That tells you how dedicated I am to being a content creator. I am making a video before my first cup of coffee is finished. So let's tally up here. So it was a 25 PED run. We came out with 19.91 PED in loot. So we're talking about a 5-ish PED loss. Armor decay, weapon decay, we're probably looking at a 6 PED loss, which actually, yeah, 15 PEC on the armor, so that's not bad at all. And you got to factor in the markup, because all of these do markup. So let's call it 5 PED overall. Call it a 5 PED cost on this, so that's not bad. It's really not bad. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you think about what my ideas are. If you have any advice for me on using ammo burners, let me know. And we're going to continue with this. The next video I do, I am going to find one of the storyline missions that I've got piled in this poor quest log. As you can see, I've got all of these early ones done. So we're going to find one of the storyline ones here. And I'm not talking like clean up at Fort Lahar, which I still need to do. Might even finish getting the blue jumpsuit. I know it's another kill quest, but I should be able to rack up the kill points now without any major issue. But no, we don't need that. We're too young for Galactica. Maybe Corona's hunting task. Yeah, we just got to figure out where that's supposed to be. Or the trail to the east, which is part of the initial quest chain. It's part, the breadcrumb is from the initial quest chain, so maybe we'll do that. So, okay, once again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and have yourself a wonderful day.